Welcome to this podcast produced by Imagine, an online source focusing on early childhood music therapy. Imagine is sponsored by the American Music Therapy Association and can be found on the web at www.imagine.musictherapy.biz. This podcast is entitled, Yes, I Can Learn, Incorporating Music Instruction into Therapy to Help Children with ASD, and presented by Kana Kamitsubo. Pianist Kana Kamitsubo has been a music and piano teacher for 14 years. As a music therapist, she works with children with special needs. Kana found that many of their parents strongly desired music instruction for their children, and she discovered multiple benefits to incorporating music instruction into her practice. Kana has been developing a unique practice that addresses a client's correlative growth as a person and musician, which in her experience are mutually reinforcing processes. She gives private sessions to 35 to 40 children a week. About half of them are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorders, PDD, and/or ADHD.
It can seem challenging, sometimes even impossible, to give music instruction to children with special needs. But perseverance, a strong music therapy orientation, and tailoring instruction to the individual child can achieve wonderfully beneficial results, as this case study illustrates. Mark, the boy in this picture, was a challenging client. People around him doubted his ability to learn. However, he confirmed my core belief that everyone can learn when given flexible instruction in the appropriate environment. Mark was referred to me by a music therapy colleague who had been asked to teach him piano. Mark had been diagnosed with autism, ADHD, and a language delay. He was extremely disruptive and impulsive. My colleague felt limited in her ability to teach him. Mark came to my private practice in May 2010, a month before he turned 4. He has been taking weekly 30-minute individual sessions ever since. At our first session, Mark seemed totally out of control. He continually ran around the room and was rough with the instruments. His impulsiveness can be seen in this video clip, taken at home by his father around the time he started his sessions with me. Initially, Mark's attention span was less than 2 minutes. He had difficulty understanding language, had echolalia, and his speech was incoherent. With his poor fine motor skills, he had difficulty grabbing a mallet or strumming the guitar even at the most basic levels. His parents had tried hard to find ways to support him. Because they found Mark so responsive to music, they hoped music lessons would be helpful. Throughout our initial session, Mark resisted participating in most of the musical activities I presented. However, he proudly sang the Twinkle Twinkle and ABC songs from start to finish. He could sing on pitch and occasionally echoed my singing while he was jumping around, demonstrating good auditory memory. Mark was emotionally stable, sweet, and affectionate, despite acting like a hurricane. I began music therapy activities to prepare Mark for music instruction, which I doubted he could start anytime soon. My early goals were to improve Mark's pre-academic skills by increasing his attention span as well as his ability to follow directions. I also worked on decreasing his impulsive and disruptive behaviors. I implemented various music therapy activities and strategies to meet those goals, and they proved effective. Over 2 months, Mark's attention span and participation level increased greatly. He was able to learn and fully participate in music therapy songs and activities. Importantly, his mastery of the activities seemed to give him confidence in his ability to learn. I gradually started to transition his sessions toward music instruction. In session 8, I introduced Mark to solfege as a first instructional step, based on my initial observation that he had strong auditory skills and liked to sing. I composed a simple song, "Are You Ready?" that helped him to sing both ascending and descending solfege.
Are you ready? Are you ready to sing?
It was not easy for Mark to learn all the solfege syllables in both directions, but singing helped him remember the order, and he seemed to enjoy it. Playing the color bells was another goal for Mark. Initially, it was difficult for him to play one bell at a time. He would impulsively hit all the bells at once. I composed a song to help him learn to play each bell with intention. Gradually, I encouraged him to play the bells as he sang solfege. He learned to play and sing simultaneously. His positional awareness regarding the solfege syllables, meaning the positions of lower to higher pitched notes and the distance between notes, also increased. In addition, he started learning the color coding of the solfege syllables, a visual cue consistent with most music education materials. This prepared Mark for the next step, which was to deepen his understanding of solfege syllables using do-re-mi cards, in which each syllable is color-coded, with the colors matching those of the color bells. I showed Mark each card and spelled it out by speech-like singing. D, O, do, R, E, re. He imitated my phrases. Thus, Mark had both visual and auditory cues to learn how to spell solfege. He also learned that each syllable is individual, rather than thinking that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do was one complete phrase. In session 20, I taught Mark "Mary Had a Little Lamb" through solfege singing. He responded well and practiced at home with his mother, making steady progress. This audio excerpt was recorded in session 24. You will hear that he gets the beginning part correct.
1, 2, ready, go.
Mark also made progress in bell playing. In the following excerpt, taken in session 31, he is playing the bells while singing solfege. Although it is still difficult for him to play each bell only one time, he is not impulsive and plays without assistance. With encouragement, he plays merry and he gets the first part of the song correct, although his attention fades toward the end of the song.
And then going now. Now which one's me? Me, re, do, re, mi, so, re, do, re, mi, do.
As Mark gained skills and confidence, his disruptive behavior decreased significantly. His motivation to learn improved considerably. I began to transition Mark's new knowledge and skills toward real piano playing, as well as to develop his finger abilities. I made up simple games using the paper piano and magic notes. Mark first learned how to match the piano keys with the specific notes. I encouraged him to put the colorful magic notes buttons on the keys. This helped him understand the piano visually.